Hey, I've seen you around talking about psychedelics a lot. I'm really interested in trying them, but I'm not really sure how to access them. I don't know if they're legal. It seems like people are doing them in other states and other countries, but is that something we can do here in Minnesota? Do you have any sense of how someone like me could access psychedelics? I think I could really benefit from them, but I just don't know what I'm allowed to do. Oh, that's a really good question. I'm really glad you asked. Yeah, so the kind of legal landscape around psychedelics is constantly changing, but currently at the federal level in the United States, they're Schedule One drugs, meaning that they're not available to anyone outside of research. So if somebody is running a clinical trial with a psychedelic, that's one way to access it. But otherwise, federally, it's not legal. There's a few churches that have been granted some exemptions to be able to use various things like ayahuasca and peyote in order to exercise their religion, but that's only in that very specific context if you're a member of that religion. Otherwise, there's different states popping up that have legal state regulated programs like Oregon and Colorado, and New Mexico passed a bill this past year, as well as Texas, to allocate funding for more trials with Iboga, and they also have stuff going on with psilocybin. But those are the clinical trials I was talking about. Really, until the federal laws change and the Controlled Substances Act can recognize that psychedelics shouldn't be on Schedule 1, they're technically going to be illegal, except for those few cases that I kind of discussed with research and religious use. Oh, yeah. I'm from Canada, and we have something called Section 56, which allows patients with certain conditions to access something like psilocybin under like medical reasons. And yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty skeptical of like psychedelics because, if the government says they're dangerous and they're illegal, then there must be a reason for that. But I don't know. My mind's kind of changing a little bit seeing people use them for these medical reasons. Like, how can we learn more about, getting more research or understanding about like the risks and the benefits of psychedelics and how that might help influence changing some of those federal laws you were talking about that it sounds like would be needed to be changed in order to make all of this a little bit more easier to access. Oh yeah, we have a law like that here in the United States called the Right to Try Act, but the Drug Enforcement Agency keeps denying every patient that tries to request access to it because the drug laws in this country aren't actually based on evidence. So I encourage you to check out organizations like Students for Sensible Drug Policy and the Drug Policy Alliance, who are really working to get these things rescheduled at the federal level.